Step inside the vibe, welcome to the flow. From the mind of Lil Joe, where the stories grow. Laid back wisdom, smooth as Sunday brunch. A live authority hits you with the punch. Lil Joe's mind, a maze of gold. From jokes to truth, stories untold. Pull up a chair, let the convo roll. It's the mind of Lil Joe, feeding your soul. Talking about the world from the wild to the mild. Every topic on the table, thoughts free and wild. Chill like a summer breeze, groove so divine. From the cosmos to the corner, all intertwined. Retro funk with a lo-fi sway. Chill rap waves, let the podcast sing. Wisdom laced in humor, truths in disguise. Lil Joe dropping gems, open up your eyes. From late night laughs to early morning rants. Philosophies dance while the rhythm enchants. Relax, kick back, it's the vibe we sow. Straight from the mind of Lil Joe, let's go. Lil Joe's mind amazing.
At Esther's Place, we believe in hope, healing, and a brighter future for survivors of domestic violence. Our mission is to provide a safe haven for those who have faced unimaginable challenges. Esther's Place is more than just a transition house, it's a sanctuary where women and children who have been displaced can find protection and support. Our dedicated team believes that every survivor deserves a chance to rebuild their life and step into a successful future. We help survivors transition back to a life of independence and empowerment. Together, we stand against domestic violence, creating a community that supports, uplifts, and empowers every individual. Visit us at www.theestersplace.com or call 1-469-305-2100 to learn how you can make a difference. At Esther's Place, we believe that together, we can break the cycle and create a world where every survivor can thrive. Esther's Place is where hope finds a home.
All right, everybody. I pray everybody's doing well. We have a great show for you today. We got a touching and sensitive topic, but I believe it will help all family members, mothers, fathers, brothers, and sisters. I think it will help everybody out. So I have a special guest. So we're going to be talking about a story. One was talking about she went through some pain. So we call it From Pain to Purpose. The unbroken story from purpose. I'm sorry, I'm saying I got it wrong. I just came up with the title this morning. Unbroken from prison to purpose. So we're going to be talking about this young lady's pain that she went through, and this story is her purpose now. It's a powerful story that's they're going to be talking about her transformation, and it's going to be talking about grace and the challenges that she went through in her life. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to welcome to the stage Miss Carla. Where's this button right here? Welcome, ma'am. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I am blessed. I am blessed. And everyone, yes, I am using a new platform. I don't know if we can just call out the names. I've been using StreamYard for years, and I've got that down packed, but I'm trying something new. So if I make some mistakes today, bear with me. So I'm going to go ahead and give them a shout out. I am using Evo Mux. That's what I'm using today. So anyway, just wanted to put that out there. So yes, like I said, this is a touching story. So Miss Carla, let's go ahead and start back with your, go ahead and introduce yourself. And I guess you can start where you want, but we can just go starting from your younger years, your family life, and we can move forward from there.
Okay, I'm Carla. I'm 29
Okay.
today.
Today?
Uh,
Today's your
no,
birthday?
like it's not my birthday,
Oh,
but
okay,
I'm
okay,
29 now.
okay.
If we're gonna start childhood, I had a good childhood, I would
Okay.
say. Um, from the age of 4, I did not see my biological father, but I was raised by my mom and stepdad until I was 14 and became like, a rebellious teenager. And I pushed to go with my dad, even though I hadn't seen him since I was a toddler. And that's where I ended up. And I ended up with him for the next 4 years after that, uh, till I was 18. And
Can I ask, did he know how to raise you? Did he know how to handle you?
he did the best he could. He provided for me like all my needs but I would say like emotionally, we both had issues. We both had like really bad anger issues. Um, that was apparent. And then when I turned 18, I wanted to move out on my own. And I had just got accepted into UCF. So
Okay.
he helped me move into housing out there. And then a couple months later, he passed away, which I took really hard. My relationship with my mom, since I had left when I was 14, was always strained after that. So, like, we spoke, but not like me and my dad were. So when he passed, when I was 18, I took it really hard. And then, but I still tried to maintain. I maintained in college for 2 more years, and then uh,
That's a success to even get into college like that. So you kept it together until you graduated and made it into college.
mhm.
Okay. So did the college, was that the influence that started changing you, or did it start with some of the rebellion?
I would say college was probably the good influence on me, but at the same time, I really just wanted to party and get high, have sex. I didn't really have a sense of direction or what I really wanted in life. And I would say I was also pretty depressed. So I maintained by doing the work that I was required to do, but
Hmm.
at the same time, there was nothing else I was doing to supplement what I was doing in school.
So I guess my question, so it took discipline to get into college, but I guess when you got in there, a lot of the discipline faded away.
Yeah, I've always been really good at school.
Hmm.
School has always been really like that's a strength of mine, I guess. Um, it was having one foot in the books and one foot in the streets that got me messed up.
Okay. Um,
So, um, I guess it started off with like me feeling like uh, having sex, is something that I'm gonna do for free. I might as well get paid for it. So it was this attitude, this lifestyle that like at first it started with like just looking for like a sugar daddy, and
mhm.
then moving forward, like I met other people who were in the lifestyle, and it just seemed more acceptable. And then
Was that
Do
the
you want me
attitude
to?
in the college or just around just that area?
What do you mean?
I mean, the attitude that you had, was that attitude that the college students had, or was it like off campus, the different people off campus?
Off campus. I had terrible discernment and I kept terrible company.
Okay,
I could have easily found great, way better company.
okay. So it's not a college. I hear a lot of people talking bad about college and sending your kids off to college, but so you can find a decent, good people on campus on the colleges have their head on straight and have purpose, the direction they want to go. But it's not the college; it's still the type of people that you choose to be with.
Yeah, you can go either direction. Looking back on it, I'm like, I just had a different lens, and looking back on it, I'm like, it was so much opportunity to network, to meet, to make better connections.
Hmm.
But I chose to do to live how I wanted to live. That I can't say the college had anything to do with it.
Okay, well, that's a good thing. So it's not you're not coming from the direction of blaming anyone for the path that you chose.
No.
So okay, so that's I think a lot of people need to get to that point. They spend most of their life blaming other people and they can't move forward because they're still stuck blaming other people. Um, so okay, so now, like I said, you're in college for 2 years and you're hanging out with the wrong people, making bad decisions, but you and your father's not there for you to reach out to, and you really don't have a relationship with your mother. So was no one else that you could, like in your family, that you could reach back to?
Not really, like as far as guidance. I'm thinking now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I really had anyone to guide me or to tell me. I had friends who suggested that I do better and stuff, but ultimately I made these decisions. There was really nobody to really influence me not to.
Okay, so
So when I was 18, I was 20, had been going to school for a while. I ended up involved with bad company and ended up in a situation where there were some girls involved and I helped. I don't know how much in detail you want me to go.
it's however, whatever you want to tell, it's going to help somebody. So basically,
Okay.
so we're going to go down the road of sex trafficking. I don't know if we can say that. Um, so yeah we could talk about it, but can we start off with like when we were talking earlier? I think a lot of people have a misconception of the definition of what that means. So the way I used to look at it is it's a group of people grabbing women and uh, organized crime, and they would get women and take them to other rich, wealthy men. And that's kind of like my picture of it, like the way they do it. They show it in movies. So what's your point of view from the way you saw it and being involved
Well,
with it?
that's what I used to think human trafficking was too. Uh, Now I know it's a much broader umbrella of things. Uh, so
It's just
just
that's like
I
you
feel
say.
like most people think that um, you know, women get pimped and forced into prostitution, which they do. That It happens. It does. But also, I feel like now it is acceptable among a large group of people to do it yourself, to sell yourself, to make money off of your assets. And so that was my attitude at the time. Like I felt it was acceptable. It was acceptable for the people around me. And so it's
Okay.
not necessarily like you always get forced into it. Some
Okay.
women just choose to.
Okay. So like something like a business decision or lifestyle. Some do it for lifestyle. Some do it to gain is what money they could profit off of it. Okay.
Yeah, it seems like easy money when you don't care. It depends on your perspective of sex. And at that time, I didn't care.
Okay. So that's your guardrails are off. So okay. So you can pick up your story to the path that you chose to go.
So, long story short, and you can ask me questions for more
Oh,
details.
okay.
I ended up with a human trafficking charge and a third-degree murder charge um, at the age of 20 because dealing with some girls, I had gave a girl a ride to prostitute. I thought she was 18. She told me she was 18, but really she was 14. And she was popping a lot of pills that night. She overdosed and she passed. So I got human trafficking for driving her. And then I got third degree murder because in the commission of a crime, which was human trafficking, she overdosed. Um, I didn't call 911 because I was scared. And when it was too late, I tried to drive her to the hospital, but she had already passed.
Hmm.
So um, it was like her and her sister. I wasn't with her sister that night, but her and her sister were saying that they were 18 and 19, they were 14 and 15. They had been around me, and who ended up being my co-defendants were some guys. Um, for they had been hanging around for a few days, and after a few days, I had gave the girl a ride, and then all of that happened. So I caught those charges, um, and so did they, um, and went to prison. Um,
And
I
so
got
kind
what?
of talk to that about there the young lady who passed. We said her sister. So they were their parents looking for them.
Not to
Or
my knowledge.
they
To
were
my
they
knowledge at the time,
were they
and
runaways or how? Not, I know you probably don't know them.
is this okay?
Yeah, yeah. So
Pick back up. What was the last question?
I was saying, just could you pick back up where when you took her to the hospital, and just just go from there.
Okay, so when I took her to the hospital, they said she was dead, and then they questioned me about what happened, and I told them what happened. The whole time, I'm still under the impression that she's an adult, and then 2 months later, they came and got me for a warrant for human trafficking and all these other things. and I went to jail, and I was in jail for a year and a half, facing life, and then they ended up offering me 10 years in prison and 10 years on probation, and I ended up taking that. So that's where I'm at now. I just did 8 years in prison. I got out 6 months ago. Um, Now I'm here.
Okay, so let me. I see where we are. So I still got questions about. So you didn't try to like just drop her off and take off, and nobody
No.
ever can attach that back to you.
No, I didn't drop her off. I stopped at the hospital and tried to get somebody, and then they said she was dead.
But so you stayed there being concerned and not just like I said. I like people just drop people off and just take off and just gone.
No, they like had me stay there and then question me.
Okay, okay. So you didn't abandon her at the hospital. Okay, so you took the plea deal, got 10 and 10. So so you said you spent a year in jail and then you went to prison. How did so
I
can
spent a
you
year and a half in county jail, and then I went to prison. Yeah.
okay? So can you describe jail life and prison life?
So at first, like when I first got to prison, um, I was like relieved because when I got sentenced, I was relieved because the whole time I was facing life and didn't know what was going to be the end result.
Okay,
So when I finally signed for 10 years, it was like, okay, I at least know when I'm getting out. And then when I got to prison, it was county jail is like you can't do anything. You don't do anything in county jail. So when I got to prison, it was like freedom in comparison to where I was at. So my first few years, I would say, were really unproductive. Like I spent a lot of time just hanging out. And but what I will say that remained consistent was I started drawing. My dad was a tattoo artist. I didn't mention that. He was a tattoo artist. He was the one person who probably like would push me to do like artistic things. Like he'll be like, "Hey, try to draw this." Or if I was ever like, "Oh, I want to try this." He would do like he would get all the things to do it. Like we see some custom sneakers online and I'm like, well, I want to try that. And next thing, like he gets all the paints to do it, all the supplies to do it, and he's like, okay, here, try it. So, um, and then when I had like towards the end of high school, I had done. Do you know what dual enrollment is?
yes.
Okay, I did dual enrollment, and I took drawing one and two college courses,
Hmm.
and so after those courses, like I could draw really good, realistically. Um, it like changed the game for me. But I never really took art serious. My dad would tell me if I filled up two sketchbooks, he would teach me how to tattoo, but I never did it. Um, I just thought I was gonna go to college, get a marketing degree, and work something corporate and save my money.
All right.
But I didn't have like purpose in that. Like I just was gonna do it just to make money. So there's the backstory on that. So um going to county and then going to prison is probably where I started picking up drawing again because you spend so much idle time. You have a lot of time to yourself in there. So started drawing again and then in prison, like everybody has a hustle. So I that's how it started. I started doing somebody saw something that I drew and were like, "Oh, if you can do that, you can do portraits." And so I started drawing portraits. Uh and I'm really good at it. Was really good at it from the jump, and then that remained consistent through my time. I kept doing portraits through my time, so obviously I got way better. And so that stayed consistent through my time. After a few years, because I told you my first few years wasn't that productive. Like, yes, I did draw, but that was about it. A few years later, it probably wasn't about until like 3 years before I got out. Let's say, 2020, because I would say all of this matters. 2020, COVID hits, right? So
Right.
everybody got fat. Everybody gained weight. All we were eating was sandwiches. And so that's when I started working out. Started working out. And
I
so
know.
since
Well,
2020, I would say there's been like a physical fitness journey consistent happening. So mind you, I had already been in prison for 2 years. So then
can I ask about COVID? 'Cause,
what happened?
I said, can I ask about COVID?
Yeah.
There's, been on the outside. We was hearing a lot of stories about people catching COVID, and really not much was done to help them. So what was the experience like when COVID came through?
It was literally like they would come in to count us, and where this was in the beginning, they would come in to count us, and where like the TV would usually be off, they'll turn the TV on and be like, y'all can keep the TV on the news. This is what y'all need to know. And they're just talking about this COVID that people are catching. It's a three at the time I remember it was a 3% death rate. So I'm like, if that comes here, it was 1,200 people on the compound. I was like, if that comes here, 40 people would die. Like, um, so we're just like stuck in this place while they're saying all of this is going on, and then finally it hit. All these people were sick. I caught it. It didn't affect me that bad. Some people it affected worse than others. Um, Nobody actually passed. So that was good. But pretty much everybody got it. And they had put us all on quarantine. We were on quarantine for like almost a year, stuck inside. So that's why like everybody got big, because all we were doing, we were stuck inside, and they were bringing us sandwiches um every day, every day. Um so then what things started to slowly open up, and how I said when I first came and it was like freedom, it never went back to that after that. Like it was always very restricted after that. Like just how moving around, and so does that answer the question?
Yes, yes. But you were safe. Like people say, their life was in danger sometimes while they're in prison. But it sounded like it was pretty decent where you were serving.
Yeah, I would say for me in particular, I'm a pretty healthy person, but I wouldn't say that medical was very good there. Then when it came to an emergency, no. They I think all the staff that works prison has this mindset that everybody who's an inmate is trying to play you, is trying to get something out of you or manipulate you. So, and that's with like everything, but with medical in particular, they're quick to be like, you're fine. There's nothing wrong with you. Even
Okay.
when, like, I've seen some pretty messed up situations where they keep sending people back, telling them that they're fine, and really they weren't.
Okay. So now you say you got your hustle going on in prison with your art.
So yeah, kept doing portraits, kept getting better and better, and then now I'm working out. Um, After a couple years, it got to the point where, like, now I'm working, teaching other people, like, workouts and stuff, and so I got, like, I really um it went from, like, idle time, like lack of production, to I really valued being productive and taking care of myself, taking care of my body. I um Along with that, it's from working out and went to eating better. Um with what I could in there. Um and then, so now I would say now I'm prioritizing taking care of better care of my body. And then I would say about 3 years before I got out, I started meditating. I've always, like, I read a lot of books, a lot of self-help books. So, and then, like, I always took, like, a lot from them. So, started meditating about 3 years before I got out. And that made a big difference as well. So, things went from, like, physical to they started going to spiritual. And then at some point, like, I just decided that I wanted to have a better spiritual connection. That's what I wanted to work on next. And so then I started praying. I was not praying. I went from meditation to prayer. Now I'm talking to God, and just paying more attention. And I would say that all of that made a tremendous difference, just in my lifestyle, my attitude, my perspectives. So moving forward, all the way up to my last year, um, by my last year, I ended up doing a reentry program that taught on a lot of subjects, that, like, things you would learn in, like, therapy, just about your attachment style and processing your traumas and stuff like that. So that made me aware of a lot of things, a lot of areas that I could use work on that I wasn't aware of. So I think that helped as well, like, just to know better coping skills, better ways to regulate, which by that time I had already implemented a lot of the things. I was meditating, I was working out. Um, so it was like confirmation. And then another thing, um, never mind.
So, but you had ability to get along with all types of people in prison.
That I had to, I'm sorry, repeat that one more time.
I was saying you had the ability to get along with. I know you was all different types of people that you were locked up with, but you had to be able to get along with them to be able to make it without having conflicts with different people.
Yeah, you have to learn how to just let things be. Just let things be. Um, Worry about yourself. bite your tongue is like the best way to just like manage and get by.
So can you see a difference, or can you describe a difference between the person who went in and the person who came out?
Black, like black and white, day and night, day and night. Because um for one, like one big thing, this is what I was gonna say. Probably right before I got out. Uh I or maybe like a year before I got out, I started developing a different viewpoint on sex. Um where I thought sex was just something we do, something you enjoy, something for pleasure. Oh, now I learned the concept of reverence, and I have reverence for sex. I view it differently. I think that it's something to be respected
Hmm.
and done with different intentions between people who really love each other. Um, I view it as like a sacred exchange between two people, and when people are engaging in sex, they're creating ties with each other that I never like took serious, that I never considered before.
Right.
So that, and now, honestly, now I came out and decided to be celibate because I felt like, for one, I was like sacrificing it, um, something like a fast, and I feel like it makes me more powerful as a person, and I was able to focus without any of that energy being directed towards anyone else or taken from me. So, with all the coping skills that I have today, um, I'm able to manage. I'm managing way better than I did as a young adult beforehand.
Hmm.
And I think another big difference is that I believe in myself now. I don't think I believed in myself back then. I didn't believe that I could really be successful. Like, not to the scale that I think now.
Right. Yeah, I think what you explaining was basically what the Bible says, that when two become one, man and woman come together, that's two different individuals, but they become one, especially when they get um, intimate with each other. So God has that set aside for marriages, but I think a lot of people, the world abuse it, and we don't have the understanding. Especially you watch TVs, watch movies, songs, all these different things, you don't get the right understanding what that intimacy is set aside for. Now you're starting to realize it and see what the true meaning, the proper way to use it inside of a marriage and a loving relationship. So that is so good to see that you learned that and able to express that, to teach that to other people. So so again, so okay, so let's pick up when you okay, now you're getting out. Let's go there. When you find out that you are able to get early release. So let's start there.
Okay, so when I came out, um, at first, okay, so a year prior to getting out, I did not know where I was gonna go. I am, um, I'm from Orlando, and just my options were limited. I wasn't in contact with really anybody. And
No visitors, anything?
I had one visitor. Over the years, I had four visits. Um, Two were from two different people. And so my support, let's just say my support was minimal. Um, so I was not sure where I was going to go. When I got out, I knew I was going to be starting from scratch. I'm from Orlando, but I ended up being guided to Jacksonville. So, um, it was really like by a miracle. That was something that I had to let go. Like I had to just give the control over because there was nothing I could do about it. So I ended up having an opportunity to come up in Jacksonville where I could be housed, start from scratch, and um, so I come out here and it's just me. I had reached out to like every reentry resource that I had learned of when I was still incarcerated, letting them know, okay, I'm here now. I had really like put myself out there while I was in there and was like, my name is Carla. I'm coming out to Jacksonville. To these, in Jacksonville is actually is pretty resourceful. Uh, so I reached out to everybody, you know, it's like to these different programs, and I'm like, I'm here. Uh, and I was blessed with some help and um started off learned how to take the bus out here. Uh, and for 3 months, I was on foot everywhere. I had another blessing been set up with a job before I got out, so I was working that. It was a part time, but I had that going. Kept searching for a job. I ended up with another job as a server, and I remember telling them when they interviewed me, they were like, "Do you have reliable transportation?" And it was like 2 hours to get to this place. They're like, "Do you have reliable transportation?" And I'm like, "Yep." Not telling them, and they're like, "Oh, you know," and they're like, "The restaurant closes at 12 Fridays and Saturdays," and I'm like, "Okay, fine, that's fine, everything's good." The bus doesn't even run that late, and I was just like, "Okay, yeah," and uh that was 1 month out. I had got that second job, so I'm by miracles managing to get to and from work for a couple months. At 3 months, I by a miracle got had made a connection who sells cars and was able to get approved for a loan for a car. So I got a car, and let's see, it's been 3 months since then, and I am. Oh, this is another thing. 3 days out, I had got off the bus and just started walking. Just like at this point, I'm like, I'm free. Like every little thing was so big to me. Um, After 8 years of being in the same place, and like just to be able to walk, just to be able to just everything was so new. Even my first time grocery shopping, like every little thing. So 3 days out, I was just walking on this street and I had walked into a tattoo shop and just started talking to them. Because I would say this experience has really heightened my tolerance for rejection. So at this point, like I will just walk into a place or just start talking because like I developed this attitude of like, well, here goes nothing. Like it's either gonna go or it's not. And if it doesn't, then it's just not meant for me. I have that attitude now. When I was younger, th- things used to hurt my feelings and like I used to take it personal, but now I have this viewpoint of whatever's meant to be is what's gonna happen, and that uh with everything that's happened for me now, uh if you're walking in alignment, then it's gonna line up for you. So
Yeah.
I
So I
say
said,
that
we call
what
that
happened?
step. I said we call that stepping out on faith.
Literally. Um, but I had walked into a tattoo shop on my third day out and started talking to them. And it was kind of like, like I had some pictures of some drawings that I had done in there and was like, I can draw, I want to learn how to tattoo. And they're like, we'll teach you. So I had been showing up there like weekly. Had a couple friends out here who knew me from in there, knew I was an artist, and they're like, "You can tattoo me." And so I'm tattooing in this place, practicing for some months, got licensed, and then uh I have like just steadily working on my goals, chipping away at them. Um, I ended up switching shops. That was recent. I so I have like you know working as a server, working at the shop. Um, ultimately, I want to do permanent makeup, but permanent makeup you got to be licensed to tattoo. So like, I'm working the steps, and it's just like I know that this is like a pot, like cooking, and I'll just keep throwing things in the pot, and every day I just try to do something that's working closer to where I'm trying to get to. I say 6 months out, I've been doing pretty good, and it definitely feels that like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Okay, that is great. So now, what would you? Some questions. What would you tell young people who may be at that point where with high school and before the situation happened? What would you say to them? I guess some may not want to listen to their parents or may not be interested in getting their education.
I would say that it's so easy. It's so easy to cross that line and your life changes forever. And that I've seen so many different walks of life in prison. It's literally for anybody.
Mhm.
So you got to be careful. Everybody has to be careful. And I just would tell them my story and how easy it is to just like to go from innocent to a really big mess up. It's so easy for people
Is
to mess up, and everybody does it. So you just got to be careful.
is it any signs for the parents to see or to anything that any changes that the parents might look for or any kind of disconnect or anything?
That's hard because I feel like the culture right now just makes it cool. Everything, everything, the music, the social media, everything makes it cool. It's all about like vanity, looking sexy, making money off of portraying an image. And then the people that are portraying the image that makes them look so cool, they're not always promoting, they're not promoting, like some of them are, but not everybody's promoting, being connected spiritually.
Right.
They're promoting using your assets to get what you want, to get a bag.
Right. Yes, it's
So
all around us. But kind of like what you said earlier, you got to make that choice. Who are you going to serve? What path are you going to take? Um, I notice. I don't know how to ask. Have you had any contact with the young lady who passed, or did the family are they blaming you or angry with you? Did you know of?
I haven't had no contact with them. That's not
But not
even
for
you.
yeah, not for you to reach. I mean, during the trials and anything, were they like angry and blaming you, or but I know you were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, pretty much. But you didn't physically do the crime, but
No, I
were they
was,
blaming you?
yes, yes, yes. I'm I that was called a monster. I was told I should burn in hell. Um, and I'm not even gonna say like that I don't have no blame. I messed up. I messed up. Um, just it's nothing I can do about it now, but to move forward and do better with my life.
Okay, so that's what it looks like. One thing that you can do is like one, change your life. It sounds like that's what you have done and what you're working on, and the other is helping other people to not go that path, to teach them how to not to go that path. So those that sounds like those are types of things. Are you planning on? Um, I know you want to tell your story, but is anything else that you're planning to how to reach and reach other youth? Anything to try to keep them on the straight and narrow path?
I don't know. I know I've asked I've asked God if like this whole situation, if I'm supposed to turn back around and do something about it, am I supposed to, does this have some sort of calling to my purpose? I know any opportunity that I am given, to tell my story, I would take it and I would tell my story. Um, Also, one of my goals is to ultimately have properties that I know this isn't necessarily youth, but I would um try to help people coming out of prison because everybody makes mistakes. It's so easy.
Mhm.
But that's all I can. Any opportunity that I'm given, I would take.
So it does. It sounds like God had grace and God had mercy on you and protected you for years.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I guess we're coming to an end. So any final words? I guess I would like to, if you could talk to your, let's see, your 17-year-old self or your 18-year-old self, what would you tell that person at 18 to try to guide them to prevent what choices that you made after that age?
I would say don't trust everyone.
Okay.
Cause that was my that was my thing. I believed everyone at face value.
Okay.
And I think that would have prevented me from getting involved in a lot of unhealthy relationships, unhealthy friendships, unhealthy connection, and just being like, I'm better than this.
Okay. So it sounds like a stronger, I guess, family relationship, even with the mother, father, stepfather. Um, they would have been able to show you more how to detect the people who wasn't true and genuine. That was that had your, you know, best intentions. So, all right. So I thank you for your time today. So, do you want to put out your so you're doing tattoos, or like you still striving to get towards your the permanent tattoos?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you ready for people to reach out for you to you, or you wait until you get more established?
Uh,
That's a hard question.
I'll give it a second.
Okay, yeah, no, you don't need people calling you a lot now to start with. But let everybody know we met in a business class, so we're both learning how to um, build our business stronger. So that's where we met, and we was I was talking about this project that I'm working on. It's called "Let Me Tell My Story." I'm gonna play the clip real quick. What I was talking about. I'm gonna play this. It's 10 seconds. Okay, what that's all about is I feel that everybody has a story, and that's when I'm thankful for her to come on to talk about her story. Um, my idea is I have this idea for years, and even I remember some of my first YouTube videos back in 2008 and nine. I would go around when I was traveling, go around the country with my camera, walk up to complete strangers, and say, "Tell me your life story in 60 seconds." And I'll get some crazy stories. I'll get some good touching stories. And the thing about, I'm gonna ask you that before we go. Give me your life story that you can tell me in 60 seconds. You know, but so that's where it started. But then I went towards. There's a lot of people that has relatives and different things, even like your father. A lot of things about your father that you don't know. So I want to start this thing called "Let Me Tell My Story," where I will come in with my cameras and have people to sit down and tell their life story. We record it, digitize it, and have it for their relatives and different people, and for the people in the future. So that's what it's all about. Let me tell my story. So that's one project that we're working on with my company. So, are you ready? Could you tell your life story in 60 seconds?
Okay. Now?
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Okay. Hmm. Uh, all right. This is my story. I'm Carla. I have came up from a lost, naive, a child to an artist, a dreamer, a, a success story, and a story for others to be inspired off of. Hopefully. That's
Okay,
60 seconds.
close enough. But we know you have a story of grace and mercy, and God has kept you. So I thank you for your time. I believe your story will touch a lot of people. I believe your story will help a lot of people. And I pray that this is your first interview, right? Yep. I pray that this will be the start of many more interviews so you can spread your story all around and meet you and reach and help as many let's say young ladies, but young ladies, young men, everybody, all different ages. I believe your story will help. And I think that's the one question that you asked me when we met. Do you think you asked me, did I think would your story help people? And my answer is yes. And I was happy to bring you on the show. So we will stay in touch. I will see you in class on, I don't even know what today is, but I will see you in our next class. So I pray God bless. I'm going to take you off the screen. I'll be right back.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Her story reminds us that no matter how far we fall from grace, God can lift us up higher. God can catch us and grab us and bring us back. And also use our story, no matter what our story is, no matter what we go through, our story, our life has a purpose. Our life is a journey, and God will be with us. So that's all we have to do is reach out to God. He will guide us. He will provide whatever we need along the way. So, all right. So that's what we're about. The TV channel, Purpose Inspired TV. We're constantly want to help people find their purpose, find their God-given purpose, and and use their purpose to help inspire people. So that's what our channel is about. That's what the show from the mind of Lil Joe is, to find stories like this. So I hope y'all enjoyed the show, enjoyed her story. And until next time, Lil Joe out.